and welcome back to Who's Who. I'm your host, Olivia Johnson, and today, here to talk about diversity in relationships, I'm joined by Jemiah Cavell, a friend and fellow classmate here at Sam Houston. Hi Jemiah, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So what made you come to Sam Houston?
It started off where I wanted to go somewhere far. I'm from Dallas, so
Okay.
I wanted to go somewhere far, but not too far. And
Right.
so when I visited Sam, it kind of felt like home. I'm kind of to myself, so I felt like Sam was the place where it was small, wasn't too big, and I can see myself growing from here.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you're here at Sam. So you said you're from Dallas, right? How long have you lived there?
All my life. Well, let me reiterate. I'm from Arlington, so Arlington is like 45 minutes outside of
Right.
Dallas, but everybody was like, where's Arlington? So I say Dallas.
There's a
Just
Six Flags in Arlington, isn't there?
Six Flags, the Cowboy Stadium,
Okay.
the Ranger Stadium. It's a lot in Arlington.
Okay. So all your family lives in Dallas?
No. I have, well, just if we're talking about Texas, I have like a good half in Houston
Okay.
also, so, and then like the rest in Dallas.
Okay. What's your major?
My major is mass comm. I just changed it this semester from nursing.
Oh, why'd you change?
Nursing, I feel like it has to be in you. That's something that has to be your calling.
Right.
Nursing
It's a
for
lot.
me, yeah. Nursing for me, it was like I forced myself being in that position. Like I try to picture myself for the money, of course. But it's nothing that I really was passionate about. I feel like mass comm is more my flow. I'm a creative person, so I feel like mass comm can open doors for me. Definitely, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, but it's definitely have opened my mind more.
Yeah,
I
that's
felt
good to
very
hear.
restricted in like who I wanted to be when I was with nursing.
Right.
But now I've changed my major. I feel like I'm growing. I see myself evolving with it.
Oh, that's good to hear. What do you plan to do after college?
Definitely gonna get a job. I don't know where, I don't know what I want to do exactly, but I know I want to do something where my creativity can flow, where I can be my own boss, definitely. Nothing 9 to 5. I feel that regardless of whatever I want to do, I know definitely it's gonna make me happy,
For sure.
for sure.
Most definitely. You said you're a mass communications major, right? What made you want to get into that?
Out of all the majors here, to be honest with you, that was the most appealing. When I first thought about changing my major, the first thing that popped up in my mind was mass comm.
Okay.
So when I started doing my research about it and felt like I can see myself growing from here, that's just what I went with.
Perfect. So do you want to be behind the screen, behind the camera? What do you want to do with mass communications?
I think I want to be in front of the camera.
Oh,
That's
okay.
definitely something that I want to work on. Like, I want to build my skills of like talking and just
For sure.
being confident, in myself. I see myself doing both because like I work at the radio station here.
Okay.
So that's definitely getting into it, like voicing.
Right. Just a small step.
Exactly. A very small step for me because I would have never done that last year.
Right.
I would have never thought of doing that. And definitely like, if I'm being in front of the camera, I would do something like not performing, but like being a host,
Okay.
talking.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I'm glad you chose mass communication. It seems like you really sprouted from that. Like you're having fun with it.
It definitely was a leap of faith. I feel
For
like being a nursing major or any other major is playing it too safe.
Right.
I feel like life is too short, especially like with stuff going on. I need to push
For
myself. And if I fail, I fail. But at least I say I did it.
Right, you tried. So how diverse is the film industry,
I
in your
think,
opinion?
yeah, in my opinion, I think we're slowly getting there, especially in the Black community. There's many of talented actors and actors. I just think we're not recognized enough. I think we don't have enough movies about us or shows about us where we can like openly speak about our problems,
Right.
our issues. I think it's mainly seen through other like communities rather than our own community.
For
I think
sure.
representation is a big problem in the film industry when it comes to that.
And how do you think we can diversitize that, I guess you would say?
Diversitize that. I feel like especially for Black women, we need to come up more in like the lead roles.
Right.
I feel like we're not as dominant in that area. I feel like we are like the supporting actors. I mean, there are some roles where we, are the main character.
Right.
But I feel like it needs to be expressed more.
Right. It needs to be more stories about Black womanhood growing up in that environment. Like there is barely any representation, like you said, and
Right.
there needs to be more. So I think that's why I think it's cool that you're a mass communications major, because you think this way and you want to be behind the screen, in front of the screen, stuff like that. So that's exciting.
Right, and I think a lot of times, like, for example, I just wrote a paper about it. Like, during the 90s, there were a lot of comic shows about, like, Martin, for example, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
There were a lot of Black shows that had us as leading characters, and we weren't living in poverty. We weren't poor. We wasn't on food stamps. Like, it showed, like, Black people can succeed.
Right.
We can be something. We can do something. Where families, it wasn't a single mother home. There wasn't more than two fathers or whatever. Like, they were married and stuff like that. I feel like now there's a shift, I would say in the early 2000s till now, that you don't see those shows anymore, like The Cosby Show. But,
Right.
like, yeah. Like, shows like that you don't see anymore when it comes to, like, Black culture and Black families.
Right. It's very stereotypical.
Very, very. And I feel that now we see shows and movies that kind of portray us in a way that makes people now fear us.
Most definitely.
Definitely have a just one-sided view of things. And I think that's why we get portrayed a lot, like, negatively.
Most definitely. So I do have a question, and this is about, because I've seen this a lot going around online, about movies that have Black characters that get turned into animals. How do you feel about that? Like Princess and the Frog, Soul, like the amount of movies that main Black characters get turned into some type of animal and don't get to play their part, in a sense.
I'm glad you pointed out Princess and the Frog. That's, like, one of my top movies.
I love that movie.
Love that movie. I think for, like, Princess and the Frog, I love the Black princess idea.
Most definitely.
Because we are queens, one. And two, there's never been a Black princess, like, portrayed on Disney or any type of platform. And
Most
to
definitely.
see, like, royalty, and to see, like, oh, I can, I'm, like, me represented
Right.
well and not portrayed negatively. I think they did a good job on that. Now, when it comes to the animal thing, I never heard that. But I will say that I don't really see any problem with it as far as, like, right now. I feel that they're just trying to go into a direction. Maybe there's something that's going to come from it later on.
Most definitely. That's an interesting way to see it, because most people are on the offensive side where they're attacking Disney, basically, saying that why you keep turning Black characters into animals, and that it's very stereotypical, and that it's almost racist in a sense. So
We can blame Disney for a lot of stuff, but when it comes to that, I feel like we just need to stay positive about it and just see where it goes.
most definitely. So branching off of that, what are you most hopeful in the next coming years? Politically, socially, economically, anywhere?
Socially, I think I like the idea of everybody, like, on TikTok and Instagram, everybody's becoming more, like, mindful of their actions, of, like, their words. Everybody's becoming more mindful of, like, mental health, for example.
Right. Taking accountability.
Accountability especially, and everybody's, like, kind of self-reflecting and kind of, like, pulling the BS aside and just being honest.
Right.
Everybody's kind of focusing on themselves, and I like that a lot. It's still
Most
drama,
definitely.
but
Of
I feel
course.
like the focusing on ourselves and then reflecting ourselves, that is going to lead our generation into a more positive light.
Most definitely, most definitely. How can we destigmatize mental health in society and relationships?
In relationships, that's a big problem. I feel my biggest, like, line to say is hurt people hurt people. So any type of relationship, romantic, friendship, especially family, I feel like as Blacks, we don't talk about mental health enough. Coming up in a Black home where I couldn't speak, my emotions wasn't valid. I was kind of scared, in a sense. Like, I had love, my people did love me, they didn't show it.
Right.
So I definitely feel any community actually, like if you don't speak on mental health, they're definitely going to have, because I have childhood trauma. I have childhood scars. So I definitely feel that mental health, it needs to be something that is educated as soon as possible.
I agree.
Especially in families. That way, when they go into the real world, they know what is love and what is not.
For sure.
And they don't be leeching on to people that don't love them, and then have more trauma, have more scars,
Right.
and have to deal with more depression, anxiety, or whatever they have to deal with. And for relationships, I feel that, like I said, hurt people. And I feel like a lot of people don't know when they're hurting. So their childhood traumas or whatever they're going through, they latch and hurt other people.
For sure. For sure. Sorry, slight pause. Sorry.
Okay.
How would you say that mental health has affected your relationships?
Like I said, hurt people. I'm not gonna lie, I was that person. Like I said, I have childhood traumas. Like, I have abandonment issues. Like, my father, he went into prison like I was 4, and he's still in prison. So, and then I had a single mother. Like, my parents were teen parents too. So, like, when he left, like, we struggled. And then I witnessed domestic violence. Like, I witnessed a lot. So I was very guarded. I was, not gonna lie, I was kind of an asshole. I was very,
Everybody goes through that phase, though.
like, I was very mean, and I took advantage of people's kindness, to be honest, in a relationship. And I think I have learned and grown from that. Like, I've become more softer and gentle, like recognizing my issues, because I went through a stage of depression and anxiety.
Right.
And me coming out from it, I don't think you ever can come out from it. I think it's how you manage it.
For
So
sure.
I'm still managing it. It definitely affected my relationship romantically and friendships. Like, I've lost friends. I've lashed on to people that did me wrong. And I still try to defend them and their actions, knowing that nobody should treat somebody in a wrong way.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to hear that. I'm so sorry that what you went through, but I'm also happy that you're kind of coming out of it and you're kind of growing from it. And it's not easy. No one ever tells you that healing those scars is never easy, but those little steps just makes it a little bit better. I swear. And I hope you do so great. I really do.
Healing is a process. It's not linear.
For
Some
sure.
days you feel like you take on the world, like you can do like your whole bucket list, and then the next day you'll be back in the bed under the
Right.
covers. I think mental health is like top priority with anybody.
For sure. Especially relationships with parents, family, anything really. It really affects how you see the world, how you view the world, how you interact with it, really.
It's important to understand and to realize people don't understand that. People's like, especially like how I grew up, like I would say something or I would cry about something like, what you crying for?
Right.
What you going through? Like, you don't pay bills. Like, what do you have to be depressed or anxiety about? I remember saying, like, I had anxiety one day to my aunt, and she was like, oh, really? What you anxiety? Like, why do you have anxiety? I was
Right.
like, because I'm just in this space and, like, I'm feeling anxiety.
Right. I think like one of the main things when destigmatizing mental health is talking about it more often, like how we're talking now, just being open about it and being open about your problems and issues. And that's why I like how you said that we're becoming more open-minded and self-reflecting. That way we can come out in the world and talk to other people about it. And I feel like over time, mental health has been destigmatized a lot. I mean, people are talking to each other, therapy, group therapy, like there's a lot out there for people.
I'll tell somebody to go to therapy real quick over the smallest problems.
sure.
Is because sometimes, even like if, say, like you come to me about a problem, sometimes I'm not mentally prepared to like take on your problems.
Right.
And you shouldn't expect somebody to understand you and take on your problems. So that's why I feel there are professionals there. There is help there that everybody should reach out to, because just going to your mom or to a person or to a friend, sometimes that's not the way to go.
Right,
Or
for
the
sure.
healthiest way to go.
Right. Definitely recommend it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed our talk. My name is Olivia Johnson, and we'll catch you next week on Who's Who.